Hey folks, it's Andrea Bassett here from Forcemeat Academy, and today I want to talk to you about fatback. What is it? Where does it come from? Who uses it? And how do they use it? And of course, can you eat it? Well, spoiler alert, yes you can. All right, so first thing is, what is fatback? So fatback is fat from a pig, from the back of a pig. Here's what it looks like. This is a frozen bunch of it, a couple slices there right from the butcher shop. If you want that from your butcher, I would call ahead just to make sure they have some. But there you go. And obviously, it's from the back because I just shared that with you. But let's just take a quick look at what that is here. All right, so this is approximately where the fat back comes from on the pig here. And thank you to Rusted Silo, Southern Barbecue and Brew House for this delightful picture and quiz. It's a meat quiz. And if you're ever in Liston, Indiana, you have a visit there. All right, so the other question that sometimes people ask about fatback is it the same as pork belly? Now, if you stop and think, fatback, pork belly, you're going to say, no, it's not the same, obviously. So the pork belly is from down here. But I am saying this in particular because I also was confused. And then the other thing that you might be asking is fatback the same as salt pork, which I think was maybe more of my confusion. So salt pork in the old days was salted fatback. So salt pork was the same as fatback, but with salt back in the old days. However, in modern times, salt pork is often salted pork belly. So it depends on your source. It could be either fatback or pork belly for salted pork. All right, and now I wanted to show you. So you saw what it looks like from the butcher shop. I just want to show you like something that I do with fatback. Is I cut it up into little pieces. Sorry about the glare there. It's terrible. And then I add some spices to it. This is a British spice mix, which I only learned existed like 6 months ago. And then I just cook it up in the oven until these are, little chunks of fat. Can you eat it? Yes, you can. Delicious. I mean, I enjoy it even cold, but I think maybe that's not for everyone. When you fry up the fat back like this to make little squares of crackling, you could also do it on the stove, but I don't like that because I'm afraid of like having a whole pot of boiling oil, not boiling, but simmering oil on the stove. I think that's just asking for trouble. And the thing about when you make these little fat cracklings is you gotta be patient, and at the end you gotta watch them so you get them so they're browned but not burnt, because you don't want to get them too burnt. You don't get them too brown so they go to burnt, but then you don't want to undercook them either. This batch here, I would say that I undercooked them. I was a little impatient, but they still taste good. All right, I hope you can't hear me chewing because there's still some fat right back there in my teeth, right here. Okay. TMI. All right, so let's talk about where do we use fatback, because in these modern times, like, you could probably go like a lot of your life without knowing what fatback is or how it's used, because it's not popular in many types of foods. All right, so let's talk about the French first. So French people use fatback in pâtés, in rillette sausages, in confit, could be from the fatback or pork belly. Stews like a cassoulet, which is a bean dish, beef bourguignon, beef burgundy meat dish. You know, it's good to use chunks of fat along with your beef if it's too lean, just to make sure it's got a nice texture. Potted meat, which is sort of the anglicized version of rillette. But they even use fatback in salads, omelets, vegetable dishes, potato dishes, and when they're cooking game birds. In French recipes, you could use fatback, slide it under the skin to keep the game birds moist because they're very lean. All right, so that's what the French do. Now let's move down to the American South. So fatback is quite popular in the American South, including just for frying it up, fried fatback. Salt pork, which if it has a little bit of meat attached, it's called streak-o-lean. In other dishes, I mean, fat is delicious, and it really makes vegetables more delicious than just vegetables on their own. So green beans, baked beans, collard beans, black-eyed peas, pinto beans, like there's no kind of beans that can't be made more delicious with fatback. Grits, cornbread, succotash, biscuits, and also a dish called Hop and John, or Carolina rice and peas. So those are some of the foods that you'll find in the American South, also called soul food, that use fatback. And now we'll go over to the east, to the Ukraine. So Ukrainian dishes that use fatback include pierogies, cabbage rolls, borscht, sausage, stewed cabbage, and then a dish called salo, which is just how they use the fatback itself, like a cooked fatback on its own. All right. So it's not just the French, the Ukrainians, and the Americans in the South that use fatback. You could use fatback in all sorts of dishes all around the world, like baked beans, you know, that's good. And if you are in Newfoundland and Labrador, you could have fried cod tongues with scrunchions, which I think scrunchions are just the cut up fatback itself. All right, so there's lots. Even in clam chowder, you could use fatback. So here's the thing. If you want to get into fatback, you want to start using it, you might not want to go to the butcher shop and buy like 9 pounds at a time, like I do. But you don't have to. You could buy 1 pound and start throwing it in your baked beans. Turn it into salted pork, throw it in there. Just do it without extra salt. It's fine too. If you're getting into making sausages, which you might be if you're watching videos like this, you'll need some fatback. Yeah, it's delicious stuff. All right, so that is a little bit about fatback. If you want to know more about fatback, I do have an article over on my website for Forcemeat Academy called "Can You Eat Fatback? Yes. Here's how!" exclamation point. And it does have more information about what other kinds of dishes use fatback. So go ahead and read that if you like. If you like this video, then click the like button down below. If you don't like the video, then that's okay too. It's not for everybody. But thanks for watching this far. Really appreciate it. And if you want to see more of these videos, then just hit the subscribe button and they'll keep coming to you every week. All right, well, thanks so much. Oh gosh, you know what? I forgot to use my other prop here. I brought this. Oh, well, here we go. Is fatback the same as bacon, the same as pork belly? No, it's not. We already know that, but here's the prop that goes with it. It's different. All right, I'm gonna eat that prop pretty soon, actually, as soon as I stop recording here. All right, thank you so much for watching, and may all your dishes with fatback be delicious. All right, take care. Bye.